Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Coach to Coach channel. I'm finally back in Canada, back from Costa Rica. And so, of course, we're going to be doing another episode. I want to share with you guys a couple cool things that I did in Costa Rica. And I'll probably be doing a video showcasing all the spots we went, why we went, because we're actually looking at picking up a property there, which is really exciting. And just a couple of the things that we did, because Costa Rica is such a big and beautiful place. And I think when people think of the name Costa Rica, you kind of get two things. You have like, oh, beautiful beaches, but then people are like, oh, well, like how developed is it? And I can say fully developed, great internet, great access, phenomenal food, great tourist destination, great local destination as well. So before I go into this kind of little training today, talking about different ways of getting leads and lead flow, I want to share with you something very beautiful. And here it is. It's an amazing mask that's actually going to go up on the wall behind me. I decided that what I'm going to do, because we've been visiting a lot of countries lately, me and my wife, I'm going to effectively go to each and every country. And for every country that I go to, I'm going to go and I'm going to pick up something unique, only available in that country, as well as a license plate. And I'm going to put it on this wall because the slatted wall is fairly empty here. And I think what an amazing way to showcase things like local artists or people who put their time and effort. The gentleman who actually created this was Pedro Livo Minotto, and he carved this, cut this, paint this. There's a lot of texture, a lot of different line work to this, which is absolutely beautiful. So I'm really excited to be able to put this up on my wall here. But all of this to kind of just showcase that as an online coach and a practitioner, you can really build your business anywhere. I was so fortunate that we were able to go over there. Internet was great. We signed up 2 clients who made about $5,400 over the span of the week. My wife did a bunch of business as well too. She actually went to a business retreat. So it was really cool just being able to show up and live your life as well as build your business at the same time. Because let's be real, when you are working to build your business, this is what you want to do. You want to be able to still serve your clients, but have a bucket ton of fun while doing it. So I love this mask, and you're going to start seeing more masks and more things like it up on the wall behind me as I start to travel more. So now with that kind of little update in place here, I want to talk about this episode. This episode is going to talk about the different ways that you can get leads as an online coach and a health professional, and as well as the types of lead, I'll say, positionings that you need to position yourself in, and then the ability of having a unique message, because ultimately this is where leads come from. So talking about the lead aspect is going to be first, because there are a lot of coaches who you're trying to do a lot of things to attract as many people as possible. And I think where coaches kind of miss the mark a little bit is they're not focusing on 1 or 2 specific lead sources, doubling down on what is really working for them and creating what I call their own 100K gateway within their business. And I call this a 100K gateway. And I've been installing this in a lot of our clients inside of Coach to Coach, because a 100K gateway is effectively when you are first in doing something, when you have your own unique way, when you have a very ironclad position to develop leads consistently, to get a lot of lead volume and to get lead quality, then effectively you have what I call as like a 100K gateway. You are letting money in and you are protecting your business and creating stability from it to then collapse underneath. You're not going from sale to sale, but instead you're creating reoccurring revenue that happens over and over again, which is what a stable business looks like. Okay. Don't fall into that trap of someone goes, you can have a 50K month, everyone you charge is paid in full, and then you don't get another client until 3 or 4 months down the road. And so really that 50K cash month was actually just 10K reoccurring month over month, which ends up not being a lot of money. Where you can build a consistent business in something that's stable, it's generating lead quality every single day, lead consistency every single day, and with enough volume that you can stack recurring revenue. Recurring revenue stacked effectively becomes your revenue runway. This is where you can do the same ways of lead generation and just show up consistently every single day in your business, and you can watch it start to take off in that direction of the jet because you got the runway behind your gateway. So in terms of the different ways, I want to go through a couple of things with this episode. I want to go through the different ways that you can get leads, because guess what? There's only 5 ways that you can get leads. I don't care who tells you what something is different. There's only 5 ways that you can get leads. And then we're going to go into the different stages of leads that you have to develop through the course of your business. So going into lead flow, all of these 5 ways of leads all drop into the same bucket of what we call active leads. These are people who are warm, who are willing, who are ready, and who are at the point in which they can make a move on one of your offers. I do not consider a lead someone who doesn't know you. I don't consider a lead someone who's really random. I don't even consider a lead someone who you don't have any information for. Like, you might be looking at your Instagram or your followers and being like, well, I have 7,000 followers, so those are all leads. No, they're not leads. They're not leads unless you contact their name, email, and phone number until you move them into your own platform, because the moment things like Facebook or Instagram switch an algorithm or shut you down, you will lose those leads. And so everything that I'm sharing with you now is for you to get leads that are actually your leads, that you can continue to build value on, and that long term, whether it's afterwards or now, they're going to be able to eventually buy something with you. So the first thing that we're going to start with is organic. Organic is, of course, a very stable way to build leads. The hard part about organic is that it takes a really long time. This is doing something like just regularly posting and showing up consistently on your social media. And a lot of you guys as health coaches and practitioners have this down pat. You have an Instagram account, you have a Facebook, maybe you're also doing like a YouTube, a TikTok, a LinkedIn, but effectively when it comes down to organic, this is basically where you are building trust on a short-term basis, where if a new person who is not in your audience or someone who has come from another source comes and looks at your organic feed, they can scroll down, they can watch a couple of things and say, hey, this person is trustworthy, and so am I ready at this point to accept whatever offer that they may or may not be putting out at that time. The key with organic is for you to have consistent lead flow with organic, you need to be unique, you need to be different, and you need to remove the barrier or the pain for the objection for clients coming in or potential clients coming in, so that way they can say, hey, this coach is someone different than all of these other coaches out here, and so that's why I want to work with them. Now, most coaches either take a really long time to build an audience or they don't have enough of an audience. And so this is where you have to look into another potential way into building your business. So the second thing that I would say would be networking. Networking is a great way to be able to get leads. It's not the end all and be all with leads. And there's actually 2 different types of way that you can network to get leads. You can do B2C, which is business to consumer, or you can do B2B, which is business to business. Depending on the type of people that you're serving, whether they're business owners, executives, or maybe you're just doing health coaching for people looking for weight loss or looking for somatic healing, whatever it is, you have to say to yourself, okay, am I going straight to the consumer looking for direct clients for referrals, or am I working with a business to get these things? Tons of different ways you can network. You can join your local chamber of commerce. You can join online networking groups. You can join a Toastmasters, a BNI. All of these things, when it comes down to networking, networking is all about improving your pitch and high quality leads. Networking takes a long time for people to get leads from, but typically because networking happens over multiple conversations, it happens over building a high quality relationship. Typically when you do get a referral or you get a lead from networking, it is going to be almost a guaranteed lead or a guaranteed client because you have built trust in a relationship with the person up hand. The downside with networking and also the downside with organic as lead generation is they take time. you have to network with the same people over and over again in order for them to build trust and refer to you. Just like organic, you have to take time to build an audience, to connect with them, to deliver value, to build trust in order for them to raise their hand and say, hey, I want to work with you as a coach and as a professional. And I remember when I first started my business, and this was in person, and then when I moved to virtual, I changed. When I had my in-person coaching company, I focused a lot on organic and networking because my organic was very small. And so I said, I'm a people person. I can get in front of people. I can improve my offers by sharing with them, and I can start to get connections with the community quickly. Little did I know that the networking would be something that would be 6 years as a part of my business. And I will say they were the highest quality clients that I got, but I also had to spend the most amount of time building those relationships to get them. So organic and networking is more of a slow burn, but they can definitely get you leads long term. Next, we move into something that's called affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is basically similar to organic, but this is where you are using someone else's audience or someone else's connections to get leads. So this could be working with an influencer. This could be using affiliate connections with another a product. This could be using client connections, like maybe having a client go into their business and doing some type of an engagement. Affiliate marketing is basically you partner your two businesses together. You work towards the same type of clientele, but you're doing different things, and so you get leads from them. So effectively with organic posting, just like affiliate marketing, this comes down to building trust. You need to have trust with the people you're partnering with. And I will say this, as health coaches, it's really easy to get super involved with the supplements or do this. You want to partner with brands that are heavily aligned with you because you want this to be a long-term relationship. I have a lot of affiliate connections inside of Coach to Coach. Like we work very closely with a company called FitHive that has a phenomenal software to help coaches run their website, run their CRM, have all of their nurture sequences in. And so for us, we've actually built this relationship over 8 years. So when they refer someone to me and I refer someone to them, it's because I know that their stuff works. I know that they're going to deliver well to my clients, and they don't conflict with what I do, which is they don't do business coaching for health coaches and practitioners. They just provide the software. But the big thing, or the benefit I should say, about affiliate marketing is because you're using someone else's audience, if their audience is warm, you can get clients in the short term. In the short term, you can get waves of people who are like, hey, I saw your webinar, I saw your presentation, I saw you were partnered with the people I'm working with. How can I get in to your offer, or how can I see what you have? So you've got organic, you've got networking, and you've got the affiliate marketing. Only as these things start to develop and your business starts to become successful do you then do kind of the fourth pillar, or look into the fourth pillar, which is paid ads. Paid advertising is one of the easiest ways to get visibility. That one thing that I will say is, if you want visibility quickly, if you do not have a big audience, if you're not doing any networking, and all you have is just a small kind of group, then paid ads is kind of for you. It's quick visibility. Now, that being said, paid ads is only to promote to people who are ready now. So it's not about them looking and seeing what you have to offer. This is about taking up whatever offer you're putting in front of them, whether it's a masterclass, a seminar, a low barrier offer, or a program. You can do these paid ads pretty much anywhere, like Insta, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn. It's all about giving visibility and eyes on your business. If they don't take you up on the offer, then they start to follow your pages, and so at least they're starting to see more of your stuff. The kind of challenge with paid ads is it can be very costly, and there can be a really steep learning curve where if you're doing the paid ads yourself, you may waste a lot of money trying to figure out the system when maybe you could have just doubled down on one of the other things. The last piece of developing leads is nurture. And it's crazy to me how some coaches don't have a nurture system. It's wild. This is having constant emails, having funnel systems in your back end as a part of your 100K gateway, and having webinars that are always going on an evergreen basis, so that way your runway is always generating revenue. That's why it's called a revenue runway. That being said, you have to be pulling leads from your organic, from your networking, from your affiliate marketing, from your paid ads into your nurture, so you can always have people ready and lined up to leave your runway. If you are not regularly nurturing, then what's happening is you're paying for new leads when really you have old leads that you can market to over and over again. Now, here's the key with nurture. Nurture is about long term. You have to be okay with sending 10 emails a month and being all right if only one person signs up, because 6 months down the road, there's going to be a total of 10 signups or 20 signups. The key with nurture is really about percentages. So as an example, I have about, I think it's like 10,200 emails. Yeah, I think it's around that. Okay, let's just round it out. Keep the number simple because I'm a simple math guy. 10K people where I've got name, email, phone number, and a little bit of what they're looking for. So when it comes to nurture, if I convert 10% of that audience, that's 1,000 clients that I can have in front of me. And even if I did nurture wrong, even if I was a complete donut with the way that I operated my nurture and I didn't have good emails and I had poor click-through rates, even if I converted 1% of a 10,000 email list, I would still have 100 clients. And if you were to look at your nurture system now and look at the way you're building leads into this now, are you nurturing at a 1% or 10%? And can you increase that? Can you improve that? Because again, what would 50 or 100 clients do, or what would even 20 high-paying clients do inside of your business? This is why long-term nurture exists, because someone may not buy from you on the first call or on the first webinar, but as they start to see more and more of your things, they're going to be more inclined to buy from you later on. And of course, then you can also put existing clients who have already bought into future nurtures so they can buy again. And this is how you have your perpetual revenue runway, where you're just cycling people through the system and you're serving them with all of your offers. So a coaching business that has a proper gateway, and why I call it a gateway is largely security. They're secure in their leads. Their leads are their own. If Zuckerberg shuts down Facebook, if the networking happens to stop, if paid ads don't work for a week, they still have leads coming in. These people do three things. First, they always have organic going, because regardless of what other ones they're doing, when people go to see them to validate them as a coach, they're not going to validate you through your website. They're going to validate you through your content. So if you don't have good content inside of your organic, if you're not Insta, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn, those are kind of like the main ones. If you do not have consistent content there, they're not going to think you're a consistent coach. And so they're not going to ever buy from you, or they're not going to allow you to get their information. Okay, so they have organic always running. The second thing is they have nurture always running. Nurture is a non-negotiable. That revenue runway cannot stop leaving people and helping them take off and lining up the next person, because the moment your lead flow stops, that's when your reoccurring revenue stops. And a lot of coaches, and I've had this happen to me, where I was chasing the next sale because I didn't have stable recurring revenue in my business. And that's not a business. That's you selling from client to client. A real business sells without you. So like talking about Costa Rica, when me and my wife were in Costa Rica and we were sitting in Tamarindo, I was in a coffee shop and we were chatting, and it's funny. We were chatting about, look at those people surfing, whatever. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. I love how quickly they can go out there for a lesson, surf, and then come back in. And then I get a notification and I was like, guess what? She's like, what? I'm like, we just got a client to pay $4K paid in full. And she's like, oh my God, that's so funny. I just got someone to sign up for Conquer, which is my wife's membership, and she's like, and they just paid in full at 222 a month for 6 months. And I laughed because I was like, this is amazing. We're living our life, but because our nurture and because our emails and because our offers are going out and they're not stopping, people are always joining our programs. I wasn't promoting, I wasn't on my phone trying to find the next client. My nurture system actually worked for me. And I share this because after you have the organic and you have the nurture, once you have those two running steadily and stably, regardless of whether you have a sizable audience or you're talking on multiple platforms, only then when you have these two things do you do the third thing, which is you dabble in one of the other three. You either do networking, you either do paid ads, or you do affiliate marketing. Learn how to do one of the other three really well. Me personally, I mastered networking, and I said to myself, I've done trading my one-on-one time for networking because it's a high time thing. And so I started to have other people of my team do the networking, and then I started to work to master the paid ads. Because you want all of your leads to come from multiple sources. That's the key with having a 100K gateway, is you're attracting people from all ways, and you are putting them behind this like, hey, your leads are here. They're captured. They're for you. They can't go anywhere else. Now, you're probably looking at this, or you're thinking about this kind of gateway and having these 5 areas, and you're like, holy shit, like this is a lot. Not really. It's not really a lot because you're only working on one other thing. Organic and nurture always has to be present in your business, and it'll never stop being present. So only when you get good at those do you then take on one of the other 3 pieces. But there's kind of like a 3-step process, which is what I'll go into now, which really determines how you approach your leads or what you do next to get more leads inside of your business so you can have a recurring revenue runway inside of your business. Okay. So it goes under 3 buckets. Step 1, which is kind of bucket 1, you first need lead consistency. Inside of your coaching business, I don't care what kind of coach you are. I don't care if it's you're doing breath work. I don't care if it's massage therapy. I don't care if it's fitness, nutrition, mindset. I don't care if it's accountability coaching. Whatever it is, the first thing you need is lead consistency. You need to be able to generate some type of number of lead consistently every single month because you can scale on that. You cannot scale if your lead acquisition is random. Randomness is not how we build a gateway. Gateways are secure. Randomness is not secure. That's like you build a gateway and you leave your door unlocked and you're like, why do you do this? Okay. And talking about security. Okay. So there's this crazy thing that happened in Costa Rica. One of the doors that we had. So my wife and I were separated. She was at her woman's retreat that she was doing there, and I had a space in Tamarindo where it was like, I don't want to say resort, but it's kind of like hotel resorty type of thing, where they had like a passcode thing, but the passcode wasn't really secure because anyone could type the passcode in, and when you type in the passcode, it's really loud and it has specific tones. I didn't feel secure, and so I was always paranoid. I was looking at the door. I was wondering, is anyone going to break in? And even one night, I thought I heard it was the wind rustling, of course, but I thought it was like the door trying to unlock. And so I was paranoid because there was a level of like, I don't feel like this is consistent or stable. And this is the thing with our leads too. You need to have lead consistency in your business. Now, the key is what does consistency look like? Well, it just has to be the same number over and over again for the minimum of 4 months. So I don't care if it's 5 leads a month, and I know you're generating more than 5 leads, but this is just the example, okay? 5 leads a month, and you're like, every single month I have 5 people going into my nurture, and of the 5 people, I have 1 person sign up. Perfect. That is consistency. We can work with that, and we can scale with that. We can put out more content. We can work to attract our message and refine things for us to be able to increase the amount of leads that we get. So step one is lead consistency. We're looking to pull those 5 leads and make them become 10 leads, because then it's 10 people into nurture, 2 people into sales, and we can continue to scale on that. Once we have lead consistency, this is where we then go into bucket 2. You turn that consistency into lead volume. You want to say, how can I maximize the way I'm getting leads currently? So when we look at these 5 areas of where leads come from inside of a health coaching business, I say to myself, what am I doing well, and how can I double down on that thing? So for organic, if you have a really big following and your following is where you get leads from, can you start putting out better quality content? Not the talking head where it's the same thing every day, because that's wild. How can you show up differently for you to be able to attract more people? When it comes to networking, it's, can I put in some of my team members into networking? Can I network in more places if that's where you're getting your lead consistently from? When it comes to paid ads are easy. If you have a paid ad that works, you duplicate it, you alter the copy, you put out more of it, and you try to get the lead cost down, and that's how you improve your lead volume. If it's affiliate marketing, you try to find more influencers and more connections that are like the one that you have that's generating, or you just straight up ask for more referrals. You're like, hey, look, I'd love for you to send more people my way, and I'll make it work for you in your favor. Or if it comes down to nurture, if you're finding that you're getting a lot of signups or a lot of people coming from your webinars, then do you maybe need to double down on your emails, on your webinars, on your funnels to extract more from it? So see how the difference between lead consistency and lead volume is actually not a lot. We don't need to do something crazy to make our revenue runway freaking take off. We just need to put plane in front of plane in front of plane and double down to make it even better. Now, this is where the step 3 or bucket 3 comes into play. Once we start getting the lead volume we want, this is where, and only this is where, we focus on lead quality. Lead quality comes down to, I'm getting a lot of leads, but they're at different stages. Some of them are not ready. Some of them are ready right now. Some of them are in the transition of being ready. So how can I create more client converting content in order for me to increase my lead quality to bring them closer to readiness? This means that what we're going to do with your lead volume is we're going to take a portion of that lead pool. We're going to significantly shrink it down to make sure that the people that you're speaking to are only the highest level person. So you create client converting content that has a lot of uniqueness, content that has difference, content that removes the barrier, content that has awareness, in which case the people are going to be drawn to you as a coach, not drawn to your program. They're drawn to you. They're drawn to your life, to what you have. And then you start to get a higher level person. So the aspect of generating leads is really about knowing, where do I play best in? Where am I operating poorly? And am I maybe trying to do too many things to do leads, and I'm showing up at a random place instead of being consistent? Now, here's the key with getting leads, especially in health coaching these days. You have to be different. I've talked about in this episode uniqueness, difference, and removing the barrier. Step 1 is being unique, and I want to share with you an amazing example. 2 days ago, I hopped in a webinar, and the guy's webinar was about how entrepreneurs can invest in a different way, different from muggles. He used the word muggles, and I was like, ugh. I even know what he means by that. The regular general pop who's not like us as coaches, who doesn't believe in taking risks, doesn't believe in going all in, believes in just giving your money to someone else and praying it's going to work. And already it was unique to me because I was like, this here, I've never heard this before. He goes, what you as an entrepreneur need is you need your money to be liquid like you, but you also need it to be secure. You need your own vault. And I was like, oh, this went from unique to now it's different. Because he talked about taxes, how traditional styles of investing is you pay a lot in taxes, how the traditional style investing has risk, how it takes a lot of time because you're waiting 25 years to make $1 million. And instead, he said something different. He goes, well, what if I could show you a way within this vault that you could never pay taxes, where it was 100% risk-free, and where the time is actually the time it takes for you to build your business, which is significantly faster, because you guys who make 20K, 30K a month, if you made a 40K month and you invested 10K each month, what could that do for your business? You could probably stack more cash than giving someone money and waiting for 25 years. Now he went from uniqueness to difference. And this is where I was listening and I was like, holy crap. And then you know what was so funny? What he was talking about was whole life insurance. And I was like, you son of a bitch. I know what whole life insurance is. I have a whole life insurance policy. And I can't believe that I didn't realize what you were talking about, because the truth is we're all sharing the same thing when it comes to health coaching. Your competitors, all the people inside the space, they are all talking about the same messaging, but because his was so unique and so different, I was totally bought in. And now here's the key. The key was like, how are you going to remove the barrier for me? Because a lot of people think that life insurance is not sexy. And this is where he said, the aspect of it being liquid and of it being guaranteed. He goes, what if we could create a vault of money where you put money in, you can take out the same amount of money, not have to worry about paying it back, and the original policy still continues to grow and make you more money. That's whole life insurance. And this is where it removed the barrier. Right? When you are talking about stuff, it's not enough in your coaching to be unique. It's also not enough to be different. We also have to show people that through our process, it can be so easy. There is no barrier or no pain. And you know what? I'll give you an example from my health coaching business. When we had our health coaching business and we talked about the uniqueness part, I talked about we will help you lose weight. We will help you remove your bloating and your digestive issues by balancing your hormones naturally. And someone goes, well, that's different. I've never heard of that before. That's very unique. And now here's the difference, because someone goes, well, what's the difference between that and doing it with something else? Well, the difference is we're going to balance these hormones naturally using food. And you're not going to be on a diet. And it's going to be risk-free because guess what? We have a guarantee inside our program. And here's how I remove the barrier. Within a 16-week time period, if you don't lose a minimum of 30 pounds or be digestive issue free, we're going to refund you in full. And this is where someone goes, wow, now what I think seems to be like it's different. It's unique. It's removed the barrier for me. If you want more leads inside your business, you can't be a carbon copy coach like every other coach out there. And I know you've seen this stuff. You're looking at FitPro. You're looking at Alex Hermosi. You're looking at other people, maybe Alicia Strager. And I say those names not because those are bad people. Those people are all phenomenal at what they do. But what happens is you become a carbon copy coach, copy and paste like everyone else, where it's the same funnel system, it's the same offer, it's the same value stack, it's the same webinar, it's the same sales pitch and presentation, to the point where people go, I don't really see you because you're not different. And this is where in the sea of coaches, building your 100K gateway can be really hard when you're competing with everyone else. Like as a coach, I don't compete inside of Coach to Coach. I don't compete with other business coaches because my stuff is totally different. My 100K gateway is different. The fact that I don't copy and paste all systems into all of your businesses is different. The fact that I help you create client converting content so you're attracting the highest version of client every single time instead of running paid ads. The fact that I can allow you to build a system your own way that doesn't allow you to do cold DMs, that you don't have to do this crazy lead follow-up where it works whether it's organic or paid ads or networking. Whether you do that, you still have your 100K gateway. That's unique. It's different. It allows you to live life on your own terms and not be restricted and try to build a copy of someone else's business. Because here's the thing when it comes to lead flow and lead quality inside your business, leads are like your liquid gold pipeline. If you don't have gold coming out of your pipeline, you can't scale and you can't build. So why would I want to copy a pipeline that's been copied 500 times and then at the end I'm getting drops when I could build my own gateway and runway? And I could have my own unique method. I could create something that's so different and so unique that removes the barriers where people get huge upfront value and they say, this person is different. So when it comes to getting more leads, it's largely about how you're showing up as a coach inside one of these 5 areas. And guess what? There's tons of different ways that you can be unique in your coaching style. Like some coaches choose to polarize. In my case, I'm doing the complete opposite of what Alex Hormozi and Jim Launch and all of these other practitioners, holy cow, you guys are the practitioners, what all these business coaches tell you, because I don't believe in copy and pasting across all businesses. Because I've seen personally, when a coach has told me to do things in the past, I'm like, I'm not going to do that because that's not in alignment with me. And so I choose to be polarizing. Being polarizing means that you're doing the opposite. You're going against the grain of what other health practitioners in your field and in your space are doing. So for example, if it's nutrition, instead of telling people you got to track macros like everybody else, are you like, hey, I do nutrition, but I do holistic nutrition, and you're not going to be on a diet through this process. That's polarizing. Or what's polarizing is like, I'm only going to have you do intermittent fasting, and I'm the intermittent fast coach because all these other diets suck and they won't work for you. That's polarizing. Now, another way that you can make your offer unique or different, because uniqueness matters, is you can differentiate. So the way I did it as a nutritionist was I helped people balance their hormones naturally with food so they could do things like lose the weight and then also get rid of their digestive issues. There's a lot of different ways they can do weight loss, but because I differentiated myself and I even called myself the hormone helper, I was so different that someone goes, oh, like I want to balance my hormones naturally. I want to stabilize that. And so that level of differentiation is why people came to us as a coach and why we were able to sign on over 4,400 clients over the span of the 8 years building that business. Now, the last way is being independent. This is about building your own thing, something that no one else has seen before. You want to be the caveman who made fire. Think about that for a second. The caveman who made fire. When he first lit that match, everyone was like, that's special. And they ran to him and they were like, tell, or her, I don't know, whoever created that, but they ran to that caveman and was like, hey, show me how to create fire. Because he was first, he was what was called a first mover. He moved first. He lit the flame. He did something completely independent of everyone else. He became the most popular, made the most money, benefited the most, and he had a true 100K gateway. A true 100K gateway is something that stands so different above the rest of everyone else that it's like, holy crap. I have to get in there. I have to get that offer. I have to work with that coach because that coach is fire. I aim to do independent with coach to coach because I know that if I just even get as close to someone, that it's going to water down my message and therefore it's going to water down the amount of people and the quality of people that I get to work with. And so back to the kind of caveman, when he created fire, everyone was like, man, I got to get in there. So then he decided, you know what, I have a system for creating fire, so I'm going to teach people the exact way that I create fire, and I'm going to teach 50 people. This is effectively what coaches do to coaches. They're like, use the exact system that I succeeded and put it into your business. Cool. Those 50 people didn't see as much as an explosion as the original fire maker because they can't. They're not the original, but they still see some success. And then they go and teach other people, and that continues to dial down the excitement behind the fire. Finally, if you are the 200,000th person trying to tell someone, I can show you how to create fire, sure, it might be appealing, But there's a million other people who create fire now. And so now they're saying to themselves, well, yeah, I do need fire created, but why should it be you who creates fire? And that's the difference. When you become polarizing, when you learn to differentiate yourself, when you become independent of every other coach's speaking and methods, you generate significantly more leads. You get higher paying clients. You get people who are ready in the now because they realize the uniqueness and they realize the specialty. It's about being special. So regardless of which one you are doing inside of these 5 leads, organic, networking, paid ads, affiliate marketing, and nurturing, you should always be doing organic and nurture and focus on a third. And then guess what? Do the lead consistency, then focus on your lead volume, and then focus on lead quality. Each time, always keep in the back of your mind, I want to be independent. I want to be the first mover. I want to have my recurring revenue runway where I hold up a flame and everyone goes, I want that because I have never seen that before. And you know what that means? That means that you have to provide constant value. Whether it's something like a webinar every month, whether it's constant nurture every single week, you have to be providing constant value for people, and it also means constant selling. You need to promote your offers, because if you don't tell people that they exist, it would be like creating fire and then bringing the fire to your cave and not showing anyone, even though you know that you have a life-changing transformation and program inside your health coaching company. That's wild. And yet some people do it without even realizing. They hesitate to put their offer out there. That's why I share with you guys all the time Coach to Coach in the C2C program. The C2C program, I know for a fact when people come in and they build their first 100K gateway and they're getting the consistent leads and people are coming to them and they're ready in that first moment, they're like, holy crap, I found something here. I found a business that not only excites me, that's in alignment with me, but that I can actually scale. This isn't just me being self-employed. This is me being a business owner. This is me building something for my family. This is me being able to travel and get paid $4,000 while sitting on a beach watching people surf. And Coach to Coach is so much more than just generating leads and revenue. Ultimately, it's about generating lives changed. Every single one of you as health coaches has a message. And I know that if I hide all of the information and I don't show people how to create their own revenue runways inside of their business, I know that they can't change more people's lives. And so I'm impacting the amount of momentum inside of your business and the movement that you're creating. Every single one of you is not looking to just work with a group of people. You're not looking to just, I have 10 people in my program. You're working to create a freaking movement. You're working to create a large-scale brand that has so much momentum, it moves mountains, and your community would fight for you, die with you, grow with you, help alleviate everything inside of your life. And that's when you feel fulfilled as a coach, and that's when you live up to the biggest version of who you are. But it starts with building your 100K gateway and then building your recurring revenue runway so you can stack that every single month so you can focus on doing things like lead consistency, lead volume, and lead quality. Now, you guys missed it through the past week and a half. We actually had a Black Friday special, and we had 2 people sign up for Coach to Coach, which is incredible. But there is another offer starting for January, and I hate doing January starts. So this isn't a January kickstart. This is a beat the January kickstart for you to be able to join in December, literally build your recurring revenue runway for your business in literally just 6 months. If you're interested in the program and you want to learn more about how you can build this 100K gateway and this recurring revenue, DM me on Instagram and DM me C2C or DM me Runway. And I will literally walk you through how we can do this, but also show you what's possible. Show you all of the people who have gone through this process already, who have fundamentally had their businesses changed, who are able to fast launch their programs within 60 days, who are able to build out a course and have it sold before it was filled, who are able to actually generate leads consistently month over month without having to always be working inside their business. And they did it by joining C2C. Now, I'll tell you, and I'll be straight up, C2C is not for everyone because it's a one-on-one program, and this 100K Gateway is unique to every person. So guess what? You do have to have an established business. If you're not making a minimum of 10K a month, this is probably not for you right now. And not because you can't benefit from it, but because there are a lot of other first preliminary things that you have to work on. And this is where I encourage you to look at the channel first before you hop in and you build these gateways that allow you to be a sustainable business. There's a lot more footwork that you have to do. But that being said, if you're making more than 10K months, if you have more than 15 clients, if you already have systems and you have an audience, or even if you don't have an audience, but you're doing networking and you're doing affiliate marketing really well, this is where we take you to the next level. This is where we make what I call sky shots. When I take sky shots and I freaking hammer that baseball, I shatter the dome. I don't want to hit the ball and it rolls and I make a couple of $100 here and there. We are here on this planet as coaches to serve more people and to make sky shots. And that's exactly what we are going to do through this process. So you know when you are at a state of readiness, and if you are, DM me C2C or DM me Runway, because all throughout December and up until mid-January, because this offer is going to be carrying over, I'm going to be taking 5 more people into C2C to work with them one-on-one so I can help them build their own 100K gateway. Other than that, work towards your lead consistency, work towards your lead volume, then work towards your lead quality, get more leads and make them stable in your business. Thanks guys so much for watching this episode. Love you guys lots, and we will catch you on the next episode of Coach to Coach. Bye for now.